Hi guys, Jose here. I just wanted to throw together a quick tutorial on how to create an HDR image using Photoshop. And for those of you who don't know, an HDR image is a high dynamic range image that takes the best of the really dark colors and the best of the really bright colors of a specific image and kind of brings them out together and creates this really vibrant image. The way to do it is to take multiple photographs of a single scene, and to do this you need a camera that's either on a tripod or stable in one specific spot, and that takes raw images. In my case I have this Canon digital SLR. It's actually a Rebel XT, and I set my formats to RAW plus JPEG, and I do that just so that I can kind of scroll through using Windows Explorer to see which RAW file is connected to which image, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So you set the camera on a tripod facing one specific image, and you take multiple pictures of this same scene, from really underexposed to really overexposed. And I prefer to use the timer for each shot, because you can actually push down the trigger and step away from the camera and not have the camera shaking while it's taking a longer exposure of whatever you're shooting. So let me show you what I meant by the RAW plus JPEG. This camera has a feature where it takes the raw image and then it also takes a large format JPEG of that same raw image and puts it into the folder for you. I placed all of my raw and JPEG images together here. As you can see, some of them are really underexposed, some of these pictures really overexposed, and it's of the exact same scenery. In my case, I didn't have a tripod with me. I just kind of ran across this chapel, and I really liked the way it looked. So that's why it's a little off-centered, and it's kind of tilted to the side a little bit. And I think one of my images may have moved. But as you can see, I'm going to scroll through them from really underexposed. The underexposed, you see the really nice color, and the really overexposed, you see some really nice blacks. And it kind of the HDR merge kind of takes all of these images and puts them together into one image, and you'll see how we can do that using Photoshop. So I believe this is the final image. I think this is the one that might have moved a little bit. So okay, let me show you what we're going to do in Photoshop to create an HDR image. Okay, we're going to open up Photoshop, and for this, I'm using CS2. I'm used to using a newer version. I'm actually on my sister's computer, but if you're using a newer RAW format camera, make sure to just check with Adobe and make sure that that camera is supported. And if not, there are ways that you can download the driver or the formatter and put it into your computer somehow, but check the Adobe site for that. Okay, so in Photoshop, we're going to click on File, we're going to go to Automate, and Merge to HDR. A dialog box will pop up asking you for the source files. You can either choose a specific folder or the files. I like click on Files, then Browse, and I select them individually. They're in this HDR. We'll sort them by type and just select all the raw formats, open them up. Now if there are images that kind of have moved a little bit, like in my case, you can select this, attempt to automatically align source images, but it will take a lot longer to render, and it'll take a long time to render. Now you can see in my case I have quite a few images from the really underexposed to really overexposed raw formats, but really you only really need three. You need an underexposed, an overexposed, and medium exposed image to kind of merge the three together and create an HDR image. I like to take a little bit more just because it gets you a wider range within the image. So I like to take just a few more. I'm gonna go ahead and click OK. I'm not gonna worry about this because that last image I'll just deselect it on the next dialog box that comes up. I'm gonna go ahead and skip forward and let it open up all my images because it might take a little while.